What's up, YouTube? It's Fabrics right here, bringing to you a Super Quantum deck profile. I figured that it's a new release. I haven't put up a video in a while, so let's get straight to it, shall we? Starting off, we have 3 copies of Red Layer. He's the Cyber Dragon of the deck. Whenever he's specialed or normaled, you get to add from your graveyard back to your hand any Super Quantum card, or Quant card, essentially. You can add back field spell, other things like that. It's, it's a good thing like that. Also, whenever it goes graveyard, you can add any copy of any Super Quant card from your graveyard, special it out, except for a copy of himself. So it's good for combo plays. It's the good part of it. That sucked. Green Ranger is actually probably the least best out of the group. I don't want to say he sucks, he's just the least best. I mean, when he's summoned, you get to summon another guy from your hand, and that's cool and all, but most of the time, you're not going to have that issue. I mean, it's kind of nice for like that opening turn play. However, whenever it goes to the graveyard, you get to discard a Super Quant card and draw a card, which again is not really that great. But you kind of need him for the name. Also, he is level 4, so, I'm not saying those are bad effects, though. Don't get me wrong on that. Good effects to draw, just kind of not needed. This is probably the second best one. You, on summon, add to hand any Super Quant card. And when it goes to graveyard, recycle up to 3 cards. Pretty simple. Also is a Psychic for the E-Telly I'll show you later. This is definitely the best Super Quant card. So you can make it that all your monsters match levels. So if you just need a specific Exceed, you can just go straight for that. Also, you can contribute off to reveal from your deck essentially 3 guys with different names, and your opponent randomly picks one, you special it, and then send the other 2, and trigger effects on all parts. So, no losses there. Feels like, what Cosmo is doing now with Tin Can, except for better. Next up, to round out the monsters, we're playing 2 copies of Star Drawing. 2 reasons why we're playing it. Actually, like 3. It's actually like 5, but let's just go with the 3 reasons. First, it's a spellcaster. Second, it's level 4. And third, you draw when you exceed off with it. And 4, it can become pretty much a level 5 for exceeds. So you can make it with the Red Ranger to Red Layer, whatever, to go for the Magna Liger or Volcasaurus play and draw a card off of it. So pretty good. Moving on to spells, we're only playing 2 of the field spell, the Magna Carrier. You can search it out pretty easily, so you don't need to play 3, and if you see it at the wrong time, like if you top deck it, you just feel like shit if you don't have already the graveyard set up. So, not really the best card for the early game, especially since you can search it off the blue layer. Not a bad card though, so what it does is, if you have a dude up, you can discard a card to get the corresponding Exceed. Magna Liger, Carrier, and the Ouroboros. So at that point, it just gets you into your big guy, which I'll show you later. But honestly, you can play this deck by just going actual Exceed control. You summon Magna Liger and you sit on him and you use his effects. Sit on the Ouroboros, use his effects. You don't have to go into the big guy, but the big guy is very good. Don't mistake in that.
God, he's good. Took me forever trying to get over one of them.
Yeah, then you got the 3 copies of E-Telly to get the blue layer. And then you still have an open normal summon, and you get to go off on that. Even on your opponent's turn, you just be like, you know what, set this, activate, get blue layer search. Even if you, if you're like Dark Hole, just chain this. Or actually, don't do that because you won't get the effect. Ignore that one. But, if you like your opponent, think about it. Going for draw power, we got 3 chicken games, we got 3 Upstart Goblins, and we got 1 day apiece. I'm essentially just trying to draw. It doesn't matter how much life you have or how little I have. If I go for the board, if I end with Great Magnus, it really doesn't matter. If I end with like a Liger and Ouroboros, you're not getting past that without a Regeki or something. So, you can actually hold the board pretty well. 1 for 1 because Cat is amazing. You get Cat, you're set. And if you discard like a green, you can go for his draw effect. Discard a red, you can special summon the guy back. So it lets you float the cards you pitch. Soul Charge, because nothing sounds more fair than going Cat Effect and sending everything to graveyard and then Soul Charging it all back. Regeki, Dark Hole, just some simple outs if you're playing against Monarchs or whatever, or Pepe, and they open up like some kind of board like Rafflesia or Nightmare. Nightmare is really annoying against this deck, but you can still out Nightmare. It's just not as easy. And Bait Infinity plays. Going with MST over Twin Twisters, mainly because you're not really too afraid of back row. And Twin Twisters require you to keep pitching cards from hand, which for the field spell, you kind of need to have some cards in hand if you want to go for the quick Exceed play. So it's best to not burn off all the cards you have. So I'm just going with straight up MSTs. Generally, most players these days are like Monarchs or they're Pepe, and you really only have to deal with one back row, not really multiple. So everyone's already on the lookout for Twin Twisters. So, they're already setting minimal. The Magnus Layer Sword, you target one of your Exceed monsters, the Super Quants, give them 100 times their rank. While it's on them, they have Piercing. You can send it to the graveyard to make your monster attack 3 times this battle phase. It's good for a quick OTK if you go with like Magna Liger. You can go like attack for 32 and then attack for 22 26s. Put them low if not game. You can do it on this Great Magnus. Go nuts with that. This deck kind of loses to certain things. Like Pepe can go like that part Naga, which my buddy McCool here was very gracious in trying to do to me over and over again. So I decided to put in some Storming Mirror Forces, also for like the Monarch matchup, It's an out, as well as 2 Solemn Strikes, a Solemn Warning, a Bottomless, and a Vanities. So these are my trap lineup. So a solid 8 cards, bare necessities, if you ask me. The Stormings are pretty much optional, but these, is kind of optional too, but these 5 are definitely something you want to have in here, just in case. Because you can make the biggest guy you want all you want, but if your opponent just gets that 1 out then and you don't have any protection, you've lost. So, extra deck, we have 2 of the Great Magnuses. You really just needed 2. Like, you can honestly play 1. Because here's the thing, that field spell, you choose the Exceed monsters from your side of the field or the graveyard. And you can recycle this guy back into your extra deck with the blue layer or with the red layer. So either one, you're going to be adding these back if you need to, which you're never going to, but it's an option. Summoning them out is relatively easy. You get out all 3 Exceeds either on your board or in graveyard. And then you just have field spell, send a field spell to graveyard, target all of them, use them all as material, summon this out. So what it does though, is as long as it has at least 2 material, you can detach to shuffle away any card on the board. Either player's turn. So it's like a crack play these. For material, it's a tower, so it's unaffected by any card effects, except for Super Quantum. So in the mirror match, you have it out with a Liger. And if it has 6 material, it's a mistake. Your opponent cannot add cards from deck to hand. So that's a thing. It's a 3600 beat stick from hell. So I'm playing 3 copies of Grand Pulse. It's essentially the MST of the deck. It's another reason why I really don't need the Twin Twisters. You detach material, pop a spell or trap card. As long as you have the blue layer on it, you can do that during either player's turn. If it has no material, it can't attack, which is never really an issue. And also, you can attach any Super Quant from your field or your hand to them as material. So if you ever really truly need material, you can just do that. I only play 3 of the blue guy though because I feel like that's the only one I need 3 of. So 2 Ouroboros. This card really helped me out in Pepe matchup. Every time we went for any Exceed, I just said put it face down. So it's a Book of Moon. As long as you have green layer, you can do it during either player's turn. Same thing as the blue one. It's instead of popping cards, it just books monsters. So 2200 attack, 2400 defense. So it's not actually a bad defense either. And being able to book cards really puts your opponent in a bad spot if they can't out it. Next up is the Magna Liger. This one destroys monsters. If you have the red layer, either player's turn. Can't attack if it doesn't have material. Attach a Super Quant. you know, the usual. So that's all the Super Quantum cards. Now we have the 101, Castel, Abyss Dweller, straight up cards. And then I'm playing a Trapeze Magician because the Star Drawing is a spellcaster and the Green Ranger, Green Layer, whatever, is a spellcaster as well. So, you can just go into Trapeze Magician for a quick game. Target whatever you want to, a Magna Liger, a red, whatever. Also, it just maybe helps if you're trying out to get OTK'd or something. You just be like, have this up, make sure you don't take too much damage. It's a damage nullifier. The only other cards we play in here is the Volcasaurus for if you don't want to go Liger and you just want to end the game really quickly, and then drop Gaia Charger, So, yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I'll try to get some gameplay videos up with McCool sometime, maybe in the next couple weeks or so. And I'm really hoping this deck takes off because it's actually rather fun to play. It flows pretty nicely. You don't have to, it's not like, oh my gosh, do I have all the combo cards? Do I have all the pendulum scales? It's none of that crap. You play a guy, you go to another guy. You guys die, you get him back. And you just try to keep it going as long as you can. Honestly, against the Pepe matchup so far, I've seen that they've been running out of scales faster than I'm running out of monsters. No? No comment?
Yep. I'm just kind of... Damn.
So, guys, that's all from me. I hope to see you all soon. You all take care.
See you guys. Bye.